Moving on to Gainesville, Florida. Good morning.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hi. I consider myself a conservative in a lot of ways. I'm not sure I support the president in this sense, but I was wondering how the UN intends to have any sort of peacekeeping operation, given the fact that all parties involved seem to be benefiting off of the destabilization of the Middle East, and how no matter if it's Iran or Israel, the United States, or Hezbollah, everybody seems to be benefiting off of the destabilization, and run by authoritarian conservatives in each of these countries and terrorist organizations, and they don't even like the UN. So how does the UN intend to deal with this very critical situation?
Let's hear from our guest up in New York.
Okay. Well, we're used to not being liked, so that's not the main concern. I'm not sure that I agree that it's in the interest of a lot of the players to have an unstable Middle East. On the contrary, I mean, just for the United States, just in the most crude sense, this instability pushes up the price of oil, and that makes the importers of oil, including people in this country, makes their situation harder. But I mean, but even more generally, I think that stable, economically viable, politically viable states turns out to be in almost everybody's interest. We've now got war in the world at almost its lowest level in well, over half a century, getting on for a century, and that comes about because we've got more politically and economically viable states, and that turns out to be in almost everybody's interests in the end. Really, only the terrorist organizations really thrive and feed on these weak states. So I'm not sure I agree with the premise in terms of the UN role. I think that we can at least try and reduce this human suffering that contributes to the radicalization of populations. And we are, as you know, at this moment trying to get large amounts of humanitarian aid into Beirut and down to the affected populations who really are the people caught in the middle. It's 700,000 absolutely innocent people displaced from their homes and all this.